top one. Yeah. All right, guys. So I definitely, when we start off, we're gonna do our normal intro. We're gonna talk about you real quick. Just to be like, we have Morpheus and Hermes from Scuttlebutt Podcast. Can you tell us a little about yourselves? And then then we'll do a quick pause for sponsor, and then we'll come back. I want to hear about your beer sponsor. Definitely want to hear about that when we start off.
So Hermes, do you want to start us off when we come back from the break with y'all's normal intro where you go around the room? What's everyone drinking?
Oh yeah, we can do that. That's cool.
Yeah,
we're in your house today.
Exactly. You let us know what we're doing.
Collab.
We're collabing. So I like that. And cool.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
You guys ready?
Absolutely.
You ready?
I was born ready.
Born ready.
I'm Ron fucking Swanson.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to E14 Podcast. I'm Jamie Britt.
And I'm Heath Britt.
And together we are E14. And today we've got Scuttlebutt Podcast in the house. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
We have Morpheus and Hermes with us. But before we get started, let me go ahead and put out this disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of our own and not the United States Navy or respective commands.
You ready for this?
Go ahead.
So take it or leave it.
All right.
Mic drop.
Maybe we should do a disclaimer.
Hey, we got to protect our butts.
Yeah, right.
You just hide the faces.
You want to go ahead and start us off, Heath?
Yeah. So happy to have you guys here, Morpheus and Hermes, man. It's been a long time coming, and we've been talking about it. Then we talked about it again, and finally the stars aligned, and we were able to hook up. I'm super happy you're here, fellas. Can you tell us a little about yourselves?
Absolutely. Morpheus, you want to go first? You want me to take it?
You go first. I want to see how you approach.
So yeah, like Heath said, obviously we've been going back and forth. Really, really happy to be here. We've been trying to get on, and then life happens, Navy happens. So we're finally here, finally getting to have a drink with Heath and Jamie. We are the Scuttlebutt Podcast. For those that don't know, we are an anonymous podcast. So we're kind of like the non-PC version of what E14's doing here. That's basically us in a nutshell. I'm an artist. I do a bunch of stuff, and it just, lo and behold, podcasting found me when COVID had happened. So I roped Morpheus into it. Morpheus.
Yeah, so I'm Morpheus. Pretty similar situation to Hermes over there. Found podcasting through him when we were reunited after about a year apart. Went to his house for the first time, and lo and behold, there was a studio in it. And we've been inseparable ever since.
And are you two an artist? Because your depiction of your face is amazing.
It's beautiful.
It would depend on what you consider an artist. I paint models, and that's about it.
So I want to make sure before I forget, can y'all please, Hermes and Morpheus, drop a plug for all the stuff you're into, please, real quick, on your art and stuff.
I took it last time, Morpheus. Go ahead. I think yours is a quick one.
Yeah, I just have an Instagram, GamesPainter723. I paint Warhammer figurines, and I made a Instagram to show the progression of them. I think they're cool. Maybe you will too.
Exactly. And I'm Hermes Auslander, so I do a lot of different things. I started out in freelance graphic design and canvas painting and graphite drawings, you name it. Recently got into tattooing over the last couple of years. I write. Yeah, that's always a good one for the Navy. Everybody really likes that one.
Yeah,
Free
really.
Tattoos over at my studio. So
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sort of like a jack of all trades. Anything that hits my fancy, I just sort of dive into it and learn everything I can about it. So I happen to just know a lot about or a little about a lot of things.
Right, definitely. That's awesome. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
But we're gonna dive into this after a word from our sponsors. All right, welcome back, guys. And I want to talk to y'all. I know you guys are growing, right? You guys are growing. You got sponsors. Tell me about your sponsors. I like that beer idea, that beer sponsor you have.
So I don't even know if it's really considered a paid sponsorship. Basically, I drink a lot of Rogue. Originally, I'm from the West Coast, where the brewery of Rogue is
Right.
pretty big. I can't find it a lot where I am now, but every now and then the stars will align and I'll find some at the Total Wine. And I've been drinking them quite a bit lately, but it's been hard to find some of their more like unique IPAs and their more recent IPAs. And I mentioned them quite a bit on our show. And so I emailed like their PR person and just told them, hey, like I'm part of a small podcast. We drink a lot on the podcast and we happen to drink your product a lot. And I talk about your product. Like, would you be interested in maybe some sort of partnership? And they just replied with like, fantastic. Thank you so much for spreading the word. Like, what's your address? We'll send you some beer.
Nice.
Wow.
That's awesome. And I've had Rogue beer. It's legit. So
It's
anybody
the
out
best.
there, I love it. No, it's good stuff. It's some.
Yeah,
some
they sent me a
high
pack of
quality
they sent me a pack of Colossal Claude, their newest IPA, and they actually have another one coming out here pretty soon. So maybe they'll send me one of them too.
Nice. And I saw the episode where y'all were drinking the hell out of it.
Yes,
Looks
it's
like
a very
it has
easy
meat too.
drinker.
Yeah, I think I appreciate the interaction I got to have with y'all on Facebook on that one. That was fun.
Yeah, we can always count on you now for interaction, Heath.
I'll talk
He's
to
good at interacting.
I'll talk shit. I'm a social media influencer now. You
So
know.
speaking of drinks,
We're all influencers.
do y'all want to go around and say what everyone is drinking? Hermes?
Sure. So I actually just finished. You can't see it on the camera here. I just finished my Guinness, so maybe I'll tap into the Lefroy here, the Scotch whiskey, Speyside
Ooh.
Isle.
Beer before liquor. Never
Exactly.
sicker.
Never sicker.
That's not a real thing.
That's not for me.
However, my grandfather told me that way back when I was like, Grandpa, you don't know me.
What about you, Morpheus? What are you drinking?
I got a few Guinness lying around. I tell you what, I wish I could be drinking is a Rogue, but unfortunately, I drank all of those already. So I'm drinking Guinness now, and if we get a little rowdy, I'll break into some Bullet Bourbon. Real quick, was I supposed to be doing a local recording?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Perfect. Then we're good to go. Let's proceed.
Cool. Cool. Go ahead. What you drinking, babe?
I'm drinking seltzer. Tastes like spicy pineapple. So I really like these, and we're not sponsored by Michelob Ultra.
But maybe one day soon.
But maybe we'll follow Morpheus's advice. But they came out with some seltzers, and they have the best flavors. So spicy pineapple, and then I'm going to follow it up with a peach pear. And what I really like about it is that they're 80 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 everything except for alcohol content. So
Yes.
For alcohol.
Except for alcohol. I got me a chocolate peanut butter porter from HG Brewing Company. I didn't buy this. Somebody left over after last time somebody came over, so I'm drinking it.
yeah, we're drinking your beer.
It's good. So if you're listening, I'm drinking your beer.
And thanks to our friends,
Yes.
the Diltzes, I think.
Yes, the Diltzes. Yeah,
Mhm.
6.5% alcohol. Not
Yeah.
bad. Not bad for a beer. And when I finish these two, I'm gonna pop into some good stuff. We call that Michelob Ultra beer. Pop some of that. I'm gonna pop it hard.
So just a little bit, these, I don't know how these episodes will fall out, but we recorded with Why Whiskey last night. And so that is why we're not drinking the hard stuff, because we have been struggling all day, and I had to work this morning. So imagine that.
We had to get ready for this surprise birthday party.
Yeah.
So I've been blowing up damn balloons.
By the time this episode airs, the birthday party will have happened. So it's a surprise birthday party for one of my coworkers. So we've been struggling today.
And a little bit of good news for Navy Region Southeast. We are now in HPCon Bravo. So round of applause.
Yeah. All right. I don't know.
Good,
All right.
good
if y'all
for
are
you
in the-
guys.
Yeah. Sorry to rub that in.
Oh, you guys are still in Charlie?
Oh, I don't think we're ever getting out of Charlie. Do you,
All right,
Morpheus?
man.
We're about to move to Bravo Plus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they added that shit. Yeah, they got pluses and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm
We're
just
all
got
tired
used
of
to
it for
What is
sure.
this, a streaming service? I joined the Navy, apparently. I joined Navy Plus.
Yeah, plus.
That's the virtual.
Yeah.
But guys, hey, we're going to jump into a few topics today. We wanted to talk about COVID. I know COVID hit the world pretty hard. It was a terrible pandemic, affected millions of people. I had it. I know Jamie never caught it, but I caught it. It wasn't as bad for me, fortunately, it was for a lot of other people. But we're fast forwarding a year, so it's been a little over a year since the COVID
Yes.
hit America. and I kind of want to talk with everybody how
we're doing.
what's going on. Everybody, I know who got shots.
How we
Who's,
doing? Doing great.
Yeah.
Who's doing? Obviously, we're not doing great. You guys are still in Charlie. Don't mean to rub it in, but yeah,
Well,
what's changed? Has anything changed?
I know how to do a podcast now.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. We're all experts on that now since
There you go.
COVID.
I have LED lights in my office,
That we can't see.
and
Yeah, I
I've
can't see 'em.
probably spent about in the last year. I've probably spent over $1,000 on Warhammer models and paint.
Holy shit! So you actually didn't save money.
No, the opposite.
The opposite.
And rogue beer.
And
You want to
beer,
know how
what-
much I spent in my stimulus check on Rogue?
How much?
I don't want to say.
Yeah, go ahead, break it out. I mean, nobody knows who you are, so it's cool.
That's true. Yeah, no. So we had a whole plan where my wife and I we paid off something with like we put our stimmies together, paid off something, and then we both got like $500 and like we each individually got 500 of like fun money. And
wow.
she like bought some clothes and put some in savings. Nope. I went right to that Games Workshop store,
Oh wow.
slapped my debit card on the table.
Did you put any in savings?
If you mean saving projects that I will not get to for a year, then yes,
That's what I meant.
Yeah, exactly.
because I have so many now.
It's just
But,
a lot of Instagram content right there. That's all that's going to be. So it's
Yes,
an
it is.
investment for your future.
Slow and steady.
Exactly. It's true.
There
It's
you go.
true.
I just finished my big bird that Hermes has been watching a lot.
This looks sick too. Looks sick too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still got to throw it on the Instagram, but I got you guys on there now, so you'll see that when
Yeah.
it comes out.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait to check it out. You guys always intrigue me with your talents. I'm telling you, you guys are talented guys. What about you, Hermie? So what's changed for you in the year?
Pretty similar as well. I learned how to, produce and publish an entire podcast. I'm more behind the scenes a lot of the time,
Yeah.
and I let Morpheus and Theron be more the voices a lot of the time. So that's kind of what happened with COVID for me.
Right.
I did start. I took up a lot of things that I just basically turned to 11. They were already at 10, and I just turned them up to 11. So I wrote a lot. I finished a short novel that I was working on for like 5 years,
Nice.
and I finally finished it. So I had that I was sending out to publishers for a while, and then podcasting found me, and then all of a sudden I had no more time. Everything that was at 11, I just pushed to the side. And yeah, I definitely invested some of the stimmy, because I didn't really have anything to pay off, and I only recently got married, and it was more of just like a legal thing. So
Yeah.
there was like no debt or anything for the stimmy check. So I
Nice.
stuck some in Dogecoin. I stuck some in
Yeah.
savings, and
Dogecoin.
Which, by the way, I got into the Dogecoin at the wrong time, apparently, and definitely lost us some like $30 now.
let me tell you
$30.
Yeah. Well, I only put like $100 on there.
Let me
Oh,
tell you
it'll
this,
come back.
Jamie. Yeah, let me tell you this. I was holding for years, and it hadn't even got to 1 cent. So when it finally got to 1 cent, I was happy. These dips, just ride them out. Just keep holding.
Yeah.
Keep those
It's all about
diamond
that.
hands.
All about that long game, huh, Hermie?
Exactly.
Long game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never sell a loss.
Yeah. Exactly.
Heath was like, stop putting money in there. You don't know what you're doing. And I was like, I mean, it's gonna, like, we all thought it was gonna just like skyrocket for 420. That's what everybody was telling me. And then
Yeah.
it tanked.
Died.
That's because Elon Musk was too busy smoking weed to promote it.
That's true. Yeah,
we
right.
need that tweet. If you are listening to this, Mr. Musk.
Yes.
Oh,
I
he's
heard
an
he's a-
avid fan base.
He's a follower.
Yeah,
I
he
think
is.
he's a follower. Yeah.
That
Reaches
Daddy
out
Musk.
every now and then. Yeah, every now and then.
You know, I follow him on Twitter. I've yet to see his return follow though. I'm wondering about that.
Yeah.
You got to throw some engagement posts out there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Tag him
Start-
at Elon Musk.
Tag him. Start commenting, liking his stuff,
Well,
and then give him
Go
like
ahead,
a
go
troll. Give him a troll post. He'll respond.
You know, but we tried that when because right when we started our podcast, guess who started a damn podcast?
Elon Musk.
No,
No.
Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They have a podcast.
So they have it's on Spotify. I don't know if they still do
Oh,
it.
I-
But
I bet their numbers are way higher than mine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they just did it to one up us because
Yeah.
they knew we were coming on, we were launching.
and we called
Yeah,
them out
right.
on Twitter. We called them out on Twitter. I never got a response.
Never.
Yeah.
Never got a follow. request or nothing.
I don't understand what's taking them so long to get back to
I
us,
know.
honestly.
Seriously, especially at the low blow that they did, coming out just to
Yeah.
warn you.
Exactly.
So obvious too. It's like you couldn't have the decency to respond on Twitter. Like
They heard we were starting one up, and they figured, oh shit, fucking,
We better get
Brits.
on it.
yeah, better get
Gotta
ahead
get
of
on that
this.
shit. Yeah. Well, screw them.
Obama
Screw
picked
them.
up his old cell phone and called up his old buddy Bruce.
Yeah.
They go way back.
Yeah, they're old boys.
All old friends from college, right?
Right.
I was gonna
go ahead.
segue into do you guys just because I see we're all drinking, what's your gauge on alcohol for the show? Like we almost use it as the lubricant and then sometimes the wheels fall off. But I was curious like where you guys fall into that.
We're kind of way I see it, whatever our company's doing.
Well, okay, we
Yeah.
don't typically, we may have one glass per episode, and depending on, you're about the third podcast that we've actually, had drinks with. But we, when it's just us, we don't typically go more than one. However, I just realized that 4 ounces of whiskey in an hour is enough to knock me on my ass. So
That's like
drinks.
that's my
that's
gauge.
like that's one drink.
That's 4 for her. One because isn't it 1 ounce of hard liquor? Per hour?
per
That's like a shot,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
shot,
4
yeah.
so-
ounces is 4 in that 1 hour.
That's a
Well,
lot.
it's a lot. It depends on our company, right? So when we did you've listened to the Outside the Uniform episode.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I've gone back and forth through. I didn't do it chronologically.
Right. So that one we did, was it last weekend?
Mm-hmm.
And I had the whole bottle of Jameson sitting there.
Yeah, he went a little nuts.
Oh,
And
was that the
then-
one we were tweeting back and forth with?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Then
I
he
do
talked
remember.
shit. Then he talked shit about me on your live thing on Facebook
I
about
do
that
remember that.
Jameson crap I'm drinking. Yeah. I remember that. That was great. And
I like Jameson.
and then last night with the wild whiskey, yeah, we drank that, and he had sent me samples of 4 different whiskeys, and we killed that. And yeah, I was feeling pretty good, but I had a drink before the show, and then I had to drink a Maker's Mark after the show.
Excuses.
So yeah, I was
Why he
pretty-
couldn't keep it together.
Maker's
that
Mark is
sounds-
delicious.
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, it was really
Now you
good.
guys are making me want to get my bourbon now. Not even done with my first Guinness.
We could start up Daddy Rich specials, Morpheus.
Whew.
Start pouring some of those together.
Did not
Right.
feed for that.
But I do like a drink during it because it just makes for
Like
a
you
good
said, the
conversation.
lubricant
Yeah,
loosens it
I do
up.
like it.
Gets us all loosey goosey, right?
Yeah.
But typically I try to stay to where, so I'm from Texas and we talk slow anyway, but when I drink, I talk really slow. So yeah, we would never get through it,
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how it affects you personally. Because mine, it's just I start talking and thinking faster than my tongue can even keep up with, and then I'm like, oh crap, there's the slur. I know.
Oh
There's
yeah, we've hit that wall a few times.
a couple times.
It's always
So-
the worst when we're together too.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. Why you guys remain anonymous?
Yeah.
Mind your own business. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh boy. Morpheus, I also feel like yours is gonna be shorter than mine is. So you want to take that one?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not necessarily that we say anything. The whole idea of our show, right, is it's supposed to simulate the scuttlebutt, the smoke pit, where you get together with your friends and you drink and you just have conversation. We
Right.
wanted our show to be, like a version of that, where we don't necessarily have to be like you guys have your disclaimer. We don't necessarily talk about anything bad. I mean,
No, I
we
don't
talk
think
about
so.
political issues from time to time, but like we never really say anything bad that would be considered against the rules. It's just that will make some people not want to talk about things,
Got
that
it.
fear of repercussion. Whereas
Right.
making it anonymous, it just kind of takes that out of the question. You
Right.
don't have to worry about like what you say. It's just, our intro says like, relax, like you are among friends.
Right.
And that's
I
the
like
whole
that.
purpose of our anonymity.
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 And then
You live in an anemone.
I can't
And
say it
then-
either,
and then-
man. Don't feel bad. That's why I said anonymous, because I can't say the other word.
Yeah, so that's why we remain anonymous though, is that, and because this is actually a picture of my face. I don't know if you guys know, I'm not anonymous. This is actually
This-
my face.
that-
Yeah.
That is
I love
Morpheus.
the bloodshot eyes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
favorite.
After
Need
a
a
3-day
caffeine
coke
fuel.
bender, there I am.
I said caffeine. He just went straight balls to the wall. All right.
Full retard.
And that's why they're anonymous, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know. The only reason my mind goes coke bender is I was at one of my best friend's re-enlistments yesterday, and I took a picture of him and I sent it to my wife. In the picture, he was kind of looking down at the time, and I sent it to her. And within 3 minutes, she sent me back a meme that she made of that picture, saying, "When you come down from a 3-day coke bender and come back during your re-enlistment."
It was a great idea when I was on my bender.
Wake up like, oh no.
This explains a lot of these lifers now. It all clicks together.
Mhm. Yeah.
So for me, the anonymity, anonymous portion goes back quite
Mr.
a ways.
Big word over here.
Shut the fuck up.
Anonymity. That's what.
Anonymity.
We live in an anemone
There you go.
with the clownfish. It goes back quite a ways. It was when I first started getting into art, like seriously. I'd always drawn and painted since I was a little kid, and when I really got into it, I noticed pretty early on that there was this bias or stigma that a lot of people carry when they know you personally, and then they see something you produce that doesn't jive with what they thought was you, like the image they had of you.
Right.
And I immediately was like, well, the best way to do that is to separate the two, professional and personal life. And in my artwork, explore a lot of different themes, a lot of different ideas, emotions, situations. And again, it doesn't always jive with a lot of people who have the image of me in their head. So I've always kept it separate. And then as I've gone through the years, any creative outlet or process that I've gone to since then, I just always keep it in that same respect. And then the show was born, and here we are.
I get it, man. No, I get it. Like it's hard. I know, being a senior chief, I try to do my best to, like, I don't care what your views are, as long as you kill it at work, bust your ass. I'm here for you. But you have to really put forth an effort to do that, Right. So it's not a natural instinct to separate your personal feelings from professional,
or just what people think of you,
Right. Right.
Like a lot of people think Heath is just a crazy Cajun, but
I'm really
they
intelligent.
would be absolutely right.
I'm actually a very intelligent. And
he's got the smarts.
I believe you, Heath. I'm
I'm
here for you.
Thanks, bro. I'm a beautiful mind.
That's
The
what he
other
says.
part of our anonymity is the nicknames are also just really cool.
Yeah.
True.
That's the best part. Yeah.
It's the
How
code
did you
names.
come up with your nicknames?
Hermes is an alien.
Yeah.
It's also German, apparently.
Yep.
Yeah. I worked on that again. That was in my early college days when I was first putting together a pseudonym, and that has a whole story behind it that would not fit into the podcast.
Oh, but it's a Greek god, right? Hermes.
It is messenger of the god. It
Messenger.
fits in a lot of different ways.
I'm really jealous you're smoking that cigar right now. I'm watching you.
I'm sorry.
Ah,
I'm
what you
glad my
smoking?
screen doesn't keep coming up, which is nice. So it's not blowing up what I'm doing over here, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as what I'm smoking, so I also have an unofficial sponsor of the show. It's a sponsor of just me personally. The Chillin' Moose 2
Oh, well.
is so I'm part of like a cigar club, and they send me a bunch of free cigars each month along with my normal shit that I buy from them, I guess, because I buy a lot from them. So I don't know if that's
Yeah.
considered a sponsorship or if that's just me
Investing.
wasting a lot of money.
Mhm.
But yeah, so this was the latest one, and it was hard not to smoke this last night, but I saved it specifically for tonight so I could smoke it on the show.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you rubbing it in my face. That's great. Thank you.
I figured you'd appreciate it. Here for you, Heath. Here for you.
Yeah, thank you. So Morpheus, you like the movie, right? What is
The
it?
Matrix.
Matrix, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of that when Hermes told me I should come up with a cool pseudonym, I happened to be watching The Matrix, and I was like, well, Morpheus sounds cool. And I happened to be eating a brat, and I was like, well, bratwursts are cool. And that's the story.
Dude,
Hope you
I
liked
saw
it.
that. I never noticed it until one of your last episodes. I saw Morpheus Bratwurst. Dude, I lost my shit.
Yeah, I did not know that.
I
was
just
your
realized that. And I was
surname.
like,
That's my
Bratwurst.
Christian name is Morpheus Bratwurst.
like
Your given name.
you're giving it name.
My God-given Christian name.
You're from a long line of the bratwursts.
I steal a line from you when I'm recruiting a lot of times, because when it comes, I've told the applicant everything they need to know about the Navy, and I'm like, all right, so what are you gonna do? Red pill or blue pill?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you tell them that you have a lot of opinions.
No, I tell them, like, what are you gonna take? You gonna go or you jump? No, jump? No, yes, no.
I don't know if that would have worked on me.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm just joking. That would be so corny.
10 years ago when I was sitting in the recruiting office, I don't know if that would have gone. I don't know if that would have worked.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest. The Matrix is an older movie, so a lot of these kids don't even know.
They weren't
what I'm
even
talking
born.
Yeah,
about.
what is
Yeah.
the Matrix? Like, that's 90s, right? Like 96, 97?
No, early 2000s.
Is it really?
Early 2000s, I
Yeah,
think.
and that's
Yeah.
I'm 99%.
while we were standing to watch.
Go ahead, sorry, Jamie.
See, even while some of us were standing to watch,
I was
people
in-
were being born.
I was actually in the Navy in 99.
In
I'm an
99?
OG.
Even before someone.
Yeah, I was in the Navy. I was like a third class. I made E5 in 2000. Yeah.
Matrix came out in 99, by the way.
That's pretty
Oh.
good. In 99, 2000, potato.
It's the 99 and the 2000.
One was pre Y2K, one was post Y2K.
Yeah,
True,
one was before the end
true.
of the world.
And here we are, living in hell ever since.
Yeah, the world did end in Y2K. This has all just been the realm of chaos.
Oh, it's like that Event Horizon movie.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah.
Don't even get me started
good
on
movie.
Event Horizon.
That was a crazy ass movie.
That movie made me
I saw that.
afraid to go to space
Yeah. You ever seen
Because you're
it?
just gonna go
Oh,
next
it's-
weekend, right, Morgan?
because I had tickets booked.
Oh, just
My
saying
chair's
we
so
can go.
squeaky.
We can go to the movie now.
With Mr. Musk.
We can go to
Go
the
to the
movie.
moon.
We can actually-
go.
Yeah, so I actually looked at the we were looking at the SpaceX website one time, and yeah, you can actually like charter a flight to the moon, but it's like
It's crazy,
$5
man.
billion.
Yeah. I mean, only like 3 people in the world can afford it, but
Drop
we
in
can
the
go.
bucket
We can go.
if Dogecoin ever goes up.
I was-
Oh yeah.
If
Damn
we
it, Jamie
all
stole it.
if we all pitch our money together, we can send me to the moon.
Okay.
I'll send for the rest of you.
Once he sets up shop on Mars, he'll send a letter for us.
So
Write to you, telling you I'm safe.
So back to COVID real quick. I'm just curious. What do y'all think? I think sometimes the media is dragging this along. What do y'all think?
Oh boy.
Oh boy,
Morpheus, you got your catchphrase?
I got a lot of opinions about this, Heath.
Okay. Okay. No, that's fine. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like, look, we've had all these other diseases like Ebola that came. It was swine flu, bird flu. And it was a flash in the pan, right? Do they just go away, or did people just stop caring about them, or the media?
Well,
stop
you get viruses, you get diseases like Ebola and Zika and stuff too, and like
Right, Zika.
Ebola was significant, but Ebola was significantly more scary than coronavirus.
A lot scarier because
Especially
that's
in
like-
the first few
yeah.
months, it had a very high mortality rate. Even still, I mean, it's very well controlled and stuff.
Yeah, but it's not as
mostly-
contagious is the difference, right?
Exactly, it's not as contagious. So that was the big thing for COVID that made it so scary, was just how contagious it was, which it is. I mean, it's a super contagious virus,
It is.
including the fact that like, a third of the people who had it didn't have symptoms.
right.
And we're
right.
still learning now about, I mean, even I had COVID back in a few months ago. And even I've been having it seen by cardiology for like heart issues that I've started to develop because of
Wow.
what they're saying are directly related to COVID. So we're still learning like the long-term effects of what it can do to you. But at the same time, that being said, if you're not an elderly person, and if you're not a person with, underlying medical conditions, it's really not that serious. I got it and I didn't really think I had it. I thought I had just like an upper respiratory infection.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I couldn't really smell very well. And even then, even with not being able to smell, I still could. It just wasn't strong. And I was fighting in my head thinking, okay, is it COVID or am I stuffed up and I can't smell anything? My wife, on the other hand, got it. She didn't have a good time. She was pretty laid out for like 3 or 4 days, but we were both fine. Like we were both
Right.
absolutely fine within 3 or 4 days.
Well-
Granted, if you're, a 90-year-old woman, that might be a death sentence for you.
Yeah.
As far as the media hype,
As is the flu, though, right?
yeah,
so it's
exactly.
a
That's
flu,
the thing,
right,
though,
perfect,
is that's
perfect,
exactly
perfect.
that's every virus, every disease is more susceptible to you if you are old.
Right.
because your immune system breaks down. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
The media hype, I feel like, honestly, I feel like a lot of people, I think the media was fear mongering, and I think they do that a lot. And I think they do that with a lot of things. I think the media is very biased and they don't care what's real and what's not real. They care about putting out big headlines that are going to scare people and are going to get them to click on their stuff. Because there's an article that says 70% of Americans don't read articles, they read headlines.
True. No, you're right.
That's true.
So I think it's a big, I think a lot of the media aspect of it was definitely fear mongering to sell papers, or not papers, but you know what I mean? Sell clicks, sell likes,
Right.
sell whatever.
The business, right?
Yeah. As far as like political leaders, when they start getting involved in making policies and stuff, honestly, like I feel like I'm sure, you know, my parents in, you know, state A would tell you, you know, like our governor's the worst and he doesn't know what he's talking about and he's just doing all this stuff unnecessarily. And then you get like my wife's parents in state B, they're like, our governor should be doing more, they're not doing enough. But it boils down, in my opinion, is they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. You're never going to make everyone happy. And especially in this specific situation, when it's either like, okay, maybe we should all stay inside and close down businesses, or it's like, be adults and do whatever you want. Half of the populace is going to be upset. Either you're not doing enough or you're doing too much and you're a tyrant, right?
Right. Right. No, I agree with you on that, because you're never going to make anybody happy. The thing, I get the mask, right? I think me and Hermes had a little Zoom call right before the show, and we talked about this. I get the mask. I understand it. A lot of people think they don't work. I think they probably work in some capacity, because I'm like, you guys follow science, right? And I know for a fact that the flu took at one time pre-COVID, took 7% of the emergency room admittance into emergency room, and 7% was flu related. That went down to 1% during COVID. So masks do work.
Eradicated, right?
Right. No, yeah, whatever. But but I do believe masks do work. By that little factor, I think there's, you know, you got a mask on, so if you sneeze, it's not gonna go as far or get as much as if you didn't have the mask on. It's just, you know, it's common sense. You don't have to be a doctor to figure that out. Yeah. But I'm more to the thing, like, if I don't feel like it, why should I? But I'm going to do it because I'm going to be responsible. But I get it if somebody said they didn't want to wear one.
Oh yeah,
I kind of get their point too.
I totally agree with you there. I mean, I'm a very self-proclaimed libertarian. I don't think we should be able to force anybody to do anything. At the same time, I'm going to wear my mask and I'm not going to sneeze on people. And, you know, I decided maybe it wasn't best that I go to restaurants for a little while, because while I might be okay, like, you know, somebody next to me might not. That's my choice. That's my decision. That's where it gets into the area of like, I don't necessarily want to say if I agree with like states doing mandatory, you know, masks or mandatory shutdowns. Like, I never agreed with that from the beginning. Even like, I remember talking to my family back home and they're like, oh, good, 2 weeks, we'll flatten the curve. And I remember telling them specifically, like, no, that's bad. It's not going to be 2 weeks. I promise you. I promise you it will not be 2 weeks. And look at us now. It's a year later.
Yeah, we're still doing it. And everybody, and then they'll say because everybody didn't follow the rules, that's why it's not done. Right. Sorry. A lot of people follow the rules for longer than 2 weeks.
I mean, just in general, I try not to sneeze on people.
Oh, I did that before COVID.
Before I wore a mask, I tried not to sneeze on
people. I mean, as far as like from a medical standpoint, if we had emphasized half as much on just washing your hands and not coughing like into your hands, coughing into your elbow, and not touching your face, wash your hands and don't touch your face, we probably really didn't need to do the mask mandate. It was just who's going to follow those rules? Who's going to be like, oh, I'm going to wash my hands all the time. Think about you go into a urinal. Like, be real, Heath. Be real with me. Do you wash your hands every time you pee?
Nope.
Yep, either do I.
I don't.
That is disgusting.
I'm touching my stuff. I know my stuff's clean. Why should I wash mine?
Exactly.
I showered this morning and I showered tonight.
I don't. Not every time. But if I
what?
But if I have to touch the handle, I will wash my hands.
Yeah. But that's why you use your foot, right? Or your elbow.
I use my foot.
You use your elbow.
My foot. No, I've raised my foot, man. I'm limber, dude. At one time, not anymore. I'm old, but I would raise that foot and flush that damn freaking urinal with my foot. Never touched it with my hands.
I always give it, you know, the people's elbow to the urinal thing.
Yeah, right. People's elbow. Yeah, that works too.
And then you go out and like elbow the other. Hey, good to see you.
Hey, because we're not doing fist bumps because of COVID. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, so that's my opinion on it. I don't think we necessarily needed to do a mask mandate if we could just get Americans to be responsible. I mean, it's not even Americans, it's people. It's just humans
Yeah.
in general. If we could get
Right.
humans to be responsible and wash their hands and not touch their face, it would have had roughly the same results.
Before I get to Hermes, I wanted to say the hair of the dog, you actually get a buzz a little faster.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How much have you eaten today?
Nobody. Well, actually, I was kind of hungry, but not a lot though. Not a
There you
whole
go.
bunch.
Rookie mistake
y'all-
right there.
okay.
Let Morpheus tell you about these.
No.
rookie mistakes.
I ate a
All
whole
right,
chicken
so-
fried steak before we did this.
This is a side note, but speaking of having to work with the hangover, have y'all ever had to do this?
Well, yeah,
Okay.
they're in the Navy.
All right.
Oh, never. I would
course
never do that.
Not my LPO has never caught me. Our department heads have never.
What would
caught
my
me.
Wait,
junior
as long
sailors
as
think
you-
if I was
no.
hungover?
No, I'm just talking about just in general because listen, there is always food left over in the refrigerator, is there not?
Maybe, but
Random
it's probably from like a
food.
month ago.
Yeah.
That's right.
I dug into that today.
Now I had to work at work.
With a hangover.
I
Time
mean, I
for some-
wasn't. Yeah, I just needed to eat. We were
I was
working through
starving.
lunch, and I needed to eat something. I needed something in my belly, and I mean, it wasn't like I was like hung over like you would think. You know, I was just like tired and stuff, so I needed to eat.
Sounds like a hangover.
Yeah, that's a hangover.
I mean,
That's
yeah.
I remember-
I mean,
I think I told Hermes that one time, like, I don't feel hungover. I just feel really groggy and my stomach's kind of uneasy and like I kind of have a headache. And he's like, so you're hung over, right? No, I'm not hungover.
No.
He just
woke
has
up.
no appetite. He's very lethargic. He's got low energy of all of these things, and he's pretty sure that he still has whiskey taste in his mouth and needs a breath mint.
And I definitely threw up a few times.
So you're hungover, bro. Got it. Cool.
Nah, you're hungover.
no, I mean, I was just tired, and my stomach was a little queasy. Yeah.
After a night of drinking and not.
Kind of feel like it's a cloud over you, right? Like you just kind of feel like hazy.
Yeah, but it really wasn't that much. I mean, we were actually just doing a tasting. It's just that the proof
These things fuck
was
me up.
through the roof.
Yeah, it's good though. It's muy bueno.
I remember a
But-
tasting I went to in Scotland. The presenter who was talking us through it and giving us all the history, and it was so it was just 4 ounces total of
Mhm.
scotch, and they even paired it, like this scotch goes with the dark chocolate, this scotch goes with the salmon, this one goes with the cheese. At the very end of it, I stood up and was like, I have to ask this guy. And I went up, I was like, how many times do you do this a day? How can you actually function? He's like, oh, we only do this once, we're good.
Okay.
So I can drink all of it. I can drink all the whiskey you want.
That's funny.
We did that.
I
with
do this 6
moonshine.
times a day.
We did that with moonshine. Remember that tasting?
Oh,
that was
yeah.
like 100 proof moonshine. Oh my god.
Got in Gatlinburg, yeah.
Mhm.
Made me buy we spent $200 on moonshine for that. They got me.
That's a Monday night for Morpheus and I when it comes to that Knob Creek at
at Knob
120.
Creek? Yeah.
You should have seen us about 3 years ago.
You don't honestly, nobody should have seen us at 3 years ago, bro.
That was
let's not
bad.
put that out there into the cosmos.
So
because
you saying that you've calmed down?
To a degree, I mean, when we were juniors overseas together, that's where Hermes and I met, was overseas.
Yeah.
When we were juniors and overseas together, like we were pretty.
we
One
were
story.
DAPA warning.
Yeah,
That's
can
what
I
we
can I tell the one story about that
Go
one
ahead.
Wednesday?
You could tell any story, bro. We
That
don't-
There
one
was-
wait, that one Wednesday?
Yeah, so
Wednesday.
there was one night where it was me and Hermes and 3 or 4 of our friends, and we all worked together. Like we all worked in the same like building together.
Yeah,
We
different.
all worked in the
departments
same
and
within the
shit,
same
yeah.
department, yeah. And it was like a Wednesday night, and we all just decided to get trashed for no good reason.
No,
We
we
were
didn't
out-
decide. No. Let's stop you there, Morpheus. We didn't decide shit. We just happened to be hanging out, and there was enough alcohol to fuck us all up. That's
Yeah,
what
like
happened.
we were just hanging out, and we all just got trashed for no good reason. And this was like a Wednesday night, and we were like out till like 2 or 3 in the morning. Like at
Not
the
a
smoke pit behind the barracks, like barbecuing and stuff. And the beauty of it was, and the beauty of the story is, the next morning, like I woke up and immediately called Hermes, who was already awake, immediately calling this guy over here, who was calling so and so, who was calling so and so. We all collectively called each other, and we all made it to work on time. And we all just looked at each other and laughed at the genius of our plans and how well we were at making sure we were all good.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It was that very quintessential
like no coordination. We all just instinctively were like, are you good? Are you good? Do you need a ride? Who's driving us all the work? Because we're not driving.
Who's actually drunk still? Who needs
like
the
none
way?
of us are driving.
That's funny because I know that is because the corpsmen are crazy, man. I remember I always usually hang out with one of the corpsman chiefs on the ship, and usually he happens to be the IDC. And this guy will go out, tie one on next day. I got a hangover, and I'm like, look, dude, if we're going tonight, I gotta have some help. I need to rehydrate. He goes, come see us, man. We're doing training right now. So I'll be their guinea pig to poke and prod so I can get that saline. Oh yeah, but you feel like $100 when you're done. You can, I run a marathon.
That's why you just do it to yourself in your living room.
Well, I don't have that. I don't. Is that what you do, Morpheus?
Just have that.
Oh my God.
Why do you think I'm not? Why do you think I don't have my video on right now? I don't want to be on here looking I don't want to be on here looking like a chemo patient.
Like a heroin addict. Track mark like a heroin addict.
What are those marks on your arm? Training.
When I was really young, I can't do this anymore, but when I was really young, I remember showing up to PT the next morning with sparkly blue eyeshadow on. And my buddy was like, dude, you stink. Like we were doing what Goldschlager and what's that really dark thing that you shoot?
Jaeger?
Really
Jaeger.
dark.
Jaeger bombs.
Jaeger bombs and Goldschlager. And he was like, bro, you stink. And we were like running in formation. I was just leaving a trail of like stink behind.
It's like, that's the puke in the back of the ponytail there.
That's funny.
See, and
that's true though. We've all been there.
Exactly. That's what a lot of civilians don't or won't understand a lot of times is that they'll hear that story and be like, oh my God, you guys need help. And it's at the end of the day, no, like most people are a little softer than they need to be. And a little extra alcohol when you're 19, 20 years old overseas, or even, legal.
Builds character.
I would say so. I mean, Heath and I had a quick chat before the show. It's like, my dad threw me in the deep end and said, figure it out. And I didn't sink. So here I am. I don't know.
Exactly.
That's just me.
Exactly. Right. Whatever doesn't kill you only makes you stronger.
Truly believe that.
It's kind of the I've learned.
If you don't want to have a bad time, don't look at the scary stuff.
Don't have a bad trip. Don't look at the scary shit. Well, you saying the IV, Heath, we had mentioned on this in like the pregame show. Again, I don't know how far we want to go into this, but there was a New Year's Eve, and this will sum it up.
Yes.
There was a New Year's Eve, just to sum up how badly because we all had duty the next day. Because
I didn't. Y'all did.
There was like 3 of us that had duty, and it's 2 a.m. We had to show up in 2.5 hours to duty, and I line up the bar. I asked the Italian bartender, I need 90. What was it? Was it Jaeger bombs? I don't think it was. Was it Jaeger?
No, it was Vegas bombs.
Vegas bombs.
I don't think it was 90. Wasn't it like 60?
No, it was 90 very specifically because she gave me 10 and I said it was 80 less than I asked for. I very specifically remember this. And our buddy Tommy, Peaky Blinders Tommy, he will attest to this because he ended up, him and I having to drink like probably 40 of them.
Hey, I was on one end of that line.
Long story short, that was how the night went at 2:30. By 3:30, we all had to be carried back and we're giving IVs to each other in order to make it to duty in an hour and a half.
That's a rough night, man.
But guess what?
That was an exceptional night.
Yeah, we didn't do it again. We may have learned a lesson or two that night, but we showed up to duty and we had that 24-hour duty and nobody died. Thank God.
You see, I didn't like my night wasn't quite as rough as that. Like I did a lot of the shots, but I was there with someone, so I definitely made sure to not like make a fool of myself.
So before everyone out there listening judges us, every old salt has a similar story.
Oh, I guarantee you. guarantee. We could. I mean, anybody that spent any time in the military, and I'm going to use the Navy especially, can write a book.
Oh,
Mm.
This
The more you
everyday life.
travel,
everybody
Absolutely.
has this one night story.
Yeah.
It starts. So this one night.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't want the one night story. That'll be a different
Oh.
podcast. You just
That's
gave me
after
the
hours.
IV. Yeah, that's the IV story. I'll give
So
you
there
the
was
one
this
night
one
story.
night. That's a good idea for a like a sub show, you know?
There you go.
Right?
Yeah, after
Like
hours.
we could do a little spin-off of like 20-minute segments of just one of us being like, so there was this one night.
So there I was.
There I was.
Picture it. Thailand,
South
2013.
Hold my beer and watch this.
Shit.
So
we
man,
could
what's-
even do little animations to it too.
That's true. Oh, do some anime.
I
He's
just
getting
got my
way
I
too
just,
ambitious.
I just got my next hobby lined up.
So what do y'all think about these damn shootings going on out of nowhere?
Oh boy. Oh man.
Well, okay, Morpheus, you took the last one.
yeah.
Are
get
they
it.
really out of nowhere? That's my first question. Are they really?
I don't
out
know.
of nowhere?
Well, if
A bunch
you
of them out of nowhere.
if you watch something, if you watch the news, you'll think it's out of nowhere.
Well, it depends on which station you're watching.
Yeah,
Right,
and it would
right.
depend on what country you're. Because
Yeah, that's true.
I have a lot of friends back in the UK, and they frequently are like, "You guys just are so crazy." I was like, "That's just what it is portrayed as. It's
Yeah.
really
Right.
not. You're not. It's not a bunch of kindergartners with rocket launchers in every school.
Yeah,
It's not how America actually looks. I promise."
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, just that by and large of like, what do we think of all of these shootings? It's again, you look up the stats of any year. Just take 2020 or let's exclude 2020 because of COVID, but 2019 on back, a quote unquote normal year. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, these are all of a sudden or crazy shootings. There is a trend upward, and there's discussion as to why that is.
That's been
But as
happening
we-
for a while, right?
Exactly. I would argue that we have plenty of problems that we should address before, before it's a gun problem,
Right. I hear you. I know. I'm with you on that. And then what? Jamie, correct me. Is it April sexual?
It's a sexual assault response or harassment awareness month.
And what did
Indeed,
you
it
show?
is. It's Sapper Month.
Sapper month. Is it? What did you show me on the news the other day about the people that's the rape day?
Yeah, so I think it's April the 20th.
Today.
Today.
Actually, today.
April 24th.
At the time of this recording.
At
Yes.
the
Oh,
time of this recording, it's National Rape Day, says TikTok. So a group of men have threatened that they're going to just go out and just randomly, assault women, and women have taken heed to this warning and will be traveling in groups. I think it's
wow.
it's crazy.
And-
Well, how do you feel about April 28th being Denim Day?
Damn,
I
I
didn't even
didn't know
know.
that.
So Denim Day is a thing that stems from Italy, actually, where there was a famous court hearing where a woman was sexually assaulted in Italy.
Oh, yeah.
And the judge let the guy off because the female's jeans were too tight. And so thus she was being promiscuous and the rapist got off.
Mhm.
And so now
Gosh.
April 28th is Denim Day. My command is actually allowing everyone to wear denim on the 28th.
Yeah, same.
Really?
I got an email about that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Wow.
In honor of, like no one deserves that,
Yeah, doesn't matter what you're wearing.
doesn't matter what you're wearing and stuff, but it's called Denim Day. It's April 28th.
Holy shit! I had no idea.
Yeah, so I was actually listening to this other podcast called Crime Junkie. It's a big one. But they were
It's a
talking
big one.
about the black and white pictures of women that we usually do around this time of year, on Instagram. And we'll say, hey, strong women, all of this. But it actually started in another country where I want to say Turkey, but I could be wrong. But anyways, it was where men were getting off, and they called it the suit and tie effect. And so they would go to court in a suit and tie and look very presentable and very gentlemanlike, and then the courts would be easy on them, for those that were accused of rape or sexual assault.
So what you're saying is it did matter what people were wearing, whether it went one way or another.
Right.
You know,
And so on the opposite end of the spectrum, it was the
Yeah.
guys that were getting off from the accusations or the charges.
I think this goes back. I mean, not to bring it back specifically or make it personal, but it's like Heath and I had that discussion prior to it. And it's like, as much as we try and make the effort to not have these biases, there's still that unconscious part of us as a society that, judges based on something as, minute as clothing or, personal appearance and, how we show
It's-
up to a courtroom.
No, you're right, because a few months ago, I had to go to court. One of the guys that works with me, he had a speeding ticket, and he was dressed in his blues. I was in my blues, and there was mostly civilians. And I tell you what, they were dressed pretty much in rags, and I was like, I was judging
Hmm.
because I'm like,
As
you're here to see the judge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're gonna and you want him to help you. Put your best foot forward, right? I was thinking, and I remember I looked at the guy that I was with, and I was like, man, I can't believe this. This is crazy. He's dressing like they just rolled out of bed and came to the courthouse.
Walmart attire, basically.
Yeah, well, exactly, exactly. And then
Yeah.
I saw this. There's a the famous Navy comedian. What's his name? Charlie Jr. Yeah, he put something on Facebook, and it was this female Marine that I guess got sexually assaulted by this other Marine, and they let him off.
No, they retained him.
They retained him in the Navy. I mean, in the Marine Corps. And I couldn't believe that because she was upset. She was doing like a video of how upset she was that she had to go face her accusee, face her perpetrator, and then he got retained after sexually
There's a
assault
great
her.
documentary. It's older now. I saw this way back when I was in college. I think it's called The Silent War.
Silent War, yeah.
Is that yeah? It's
My wife's aunt made her watch that before she joined the Navy.
I mean,
Oh,
it's definitely a dark one, and not that obviously every documentary doesn't have its own narrative that they want to give, and it has its own creative rights and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, there are statistics out there, and that's why we have these sapper stand downs or sapper months and these denim days, is because we have these unfortunate things, and at the end of the day, it's like what do we actually do?
Yeah.
And a lot of times as a recruiter, I have to combat that objection with the parents because they're like, my daughter is going into the military, and I'm just afraid of this. And the way that I always put it into perspective is that there is someone else just like me on the other end of this at the first duty station. There's another female that's been in for so many years that's going to show your daughter the ropes. And then in addition to that, we have all of these safety stand downs and all of this awareness. And so our brothers in arms understand that they have to give us a special lookout just in case we're out and about in the town. And there's been numerous times where I've been out with a group of guys and they've watched out for me just because, we're all brothers and sisters. So they just said, hey, make sure she gets in the car first, that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Decent people.
Yeah.
Good people. Yeah. Right.
I was gonna ask why it made me think, Jamie, just personally as the female of the four of us here, do you feel that the training, the stand downs, the awareness is adequate in the military currently?
Well, I think that we beat a dead horse a lot when we train. I think that people tend to turn a blind eye to it because we do it so much, and that it kind of loses its luster whenever we do say, okay, get your saber training done or whatever it may be. But when you have that female that you work with in your shop or whatever you're doing, and she comes to you and says, can you look out for me? That is what we should be training to is the females going to their coworkers and saying, I'll give you an example. Here in New Orleans, we've had a rash of women going missing, right? And so I have a bunch of future sailors that are under me, and I mentor them and train them for boot camp and all of that. And they were telling me about this, that, the females are going missing. They're tying like zip ties to their car handles so that they fiddle with it. And then these guys come and kidnap them. And so after each step meeting, as the night went on, I would tell the guys, make sure you look out for your females. and they'd watch them get in their car and drive off before they got in their cars and drive off. So if we can continue to bring it home to that face that's next to you, not just this like, vague.
Make it communal, basically, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would be better training. That face next to you could be a victim and help them.
That's good. Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome. That's true.
beautifully said.
It's,
Yeah, my growing up with a bunch of sisters, like I feel like any guy that has sisters, specifically younger sisters, has that sort of like, hopefully has that like instinct
Protector
of-
mentality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And as I was thinking that, I was like, I don't know how woke that'll fly in today's society. Well, they don't need men, they don't need this. I don't know. It's just it's always that back commentary of confliction of like, how do you approach that? How do you say that? How do you
There's always that double-edged sword, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Well,
like
You
I
can
think
do
that-
something with the best of intentions and then still be deemed,
Yeah.
the heretic because you're,
yeah, you're being sexist, thinking she couldn't take care of herself type of deal, or whatever.
Either we empower women to say, hey, brother, look out for me, or as leaders we say, look out for her. But it's got to come from either the female or the leader that says specifically, look out for whatever her name is,
Sure.
and then you put a face to that and you're like, it kind of registers in there and you're like, oh yeah,
It makes
got
sense.
you.
Yeah. Definitely. Hey, quick break.
Mhm.
Then we'll come back. I'm gonna give you another
From a
drink.
word from our sponsors.
Please stand by for a word from our sponsors.
I was gonna say, I could play the
Thank you.
I could play the soundboard if I had it hooked up. Just because I wasn't planning on hooking everything up, I could have played it.
So I'm gonna take that we're not doing local recordings, right, Hermes?
I wasn't.
What,
Okay,
what is a
cool.
local? Okay, tell me what it is.
So we can record individually, so the way we do our podcast is we have a local record. We each record locally. So Hermes records his audio, I record my audio. We use StreamYard as like our buffer that we can all talk to each other over. But we record each of our audio tracks individually, and then we all send them, and Hermes splices them all together.
Oh,
'Cause-
okay, that's what you were talking about. How I need to raise one volume.
Mhm.
The first. Okay.
Because
yeah,
then
I
you
was
can, then you can mess with each individual audio track. You can mess with like the volume stuff. So like if I have you hear my squeaky chair right now, Hermes can literally go into my audio file and cut that out. You know what I mean?
I can noise gate. I
Oh.
can play with his tones. I can play with all of that stuff. And what's awesome about StreamYard is beta testing this, and I got right on board for it. I signed up before they make it, cost something a month.
Mhm.
I got right on board, and now anybody who's logged in separate, locations, instead of as Zoom and as StreamYard previously did, compresses them all together into one audio file. It gives you separate ones so that when you download the file, you can download like Hermes audio, Jamie's audio, every single audio from different computers, so that then you don't necessarily have to have the local. Now, Morpheus and I do it just as like a backup, and I even do a third one because, as we said in previous episodes, we've been burned before where we lost the entire great conversation.
Yeah, I mean, we've hit certain filter content or content filters where we flagged somebody's appropriate screen, and they've taken our footage down, and we've lost a whole episode.
Yeah,
because
Wow.
one person says the same word too many times, and we don't see the email.
because again, I'm doing a lot of shit. I can't see
Yeah.
everything all at once.
And it'll be like an algorithm, it's all based off
Guns.
algorithms, and each specific stream service has its own algorithm. So the thing that gets us a lot is we'll talk about guns or AR-15. It'll flag it for an algorithm and be like, hey, you're talking about questionable content right now. We need you to not do that anymore. But it'll be one of multiple services,
Exactly. Exactly. And
That's
so yeah,
interesting.
just as the backup, because a lot of the podcast platforms, and we'll just wrap this up because I know we're finishing up the break, but a lot of podcast platforms are okay in terms of audio content, short of literal incitement of violence. I mean, there's podcasts out there that are Nazis that are talking about Nazi heritage and all this shit. So short of actual calls to violence, if this is the plan to do this, you can you can get away with a lot on the platform, but live streams are a different story because they have no way of checking who can actually log into the
Sure.
live stream and see something.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a much more strict. So backup on backups is how I run it is, have local recordings and then I just produce it later. And at the end of the day, you get a better better sound quality.
audio.
Exactly.
That's good insight. I'll take that into account for the your hair is crazy.
I know.
I can't deal with it. Y'all see
See,
it?
you're so small right now. It hasn't
Oh.
like popped
Yeah,
up.
we got it. There we go.
There it goes.
That's my man there.
There he goes.
Lord.
There he is.
I'm gonna count my lucky stars if I have as much hair as he does when in the next 10 years.
That's what I'm
When
saying.
you're-
His
when
hair
you're
looks
old,
thick.
you can
I wish
say
my
it. He's a
I wish my hair
citizen.
was
Citizen.
I wish
I'm
my hair was
saying-
that thick now. I had like thin hair. I wish my hair was that thick.
That's what I'm saying. My dad lost his hair when he turned like 30, and so
Same.
I'm fast approaching there, and I'm seeing the signs already. So if I have
Hey, my wife makes
full
fun of me
head.
all the time for my hairline.
Heath, you don't have that problem. So you know what?
No, I don't.
Here's-
If I had hair like that, Heath, I'd have the best pompadour you'd ever seen.
Hmm.
Gotta get you some American Crew pomade. American
There
Crew
you go.
sponsor us.
Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
that's what you need to do.
Thank
Start
God.
talking about it.
Well, I'm gonna talk about what I'm trying to work right now once we come back from break. You ready?
The
Yep, I'm
Suavecito.
ready.
It should be
Three.
Suavecito.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. So I'm kind of jealous of Scuttlebutt has all these sponsors. Well, I hit up smooth your balls.
As one does as a man with a podcast.
We're professional.
I am
Honestly-
unfamiliar with this concept.
No, okay. So here's
It's a real
I
deal.
mean, I feel like our podcast is like very straight and narrow. Can you imagine? I mean, I think pretty high ranking people listen to us, and then we're gonna like do smooth your balls.
That'd be like if you did a commercial for like genital warts. My name is
Yeah.
Heath.
I mean, there's a what is it? What's the one? There's a specific. I see the ad a lot where it shows them like using a trimmer to like shave a peach.
Yeah,
They're like, this could be your junk.
well, they hit me up on Instagram,
They did.
and I curiosity, got the better of me, and I said yes. So tell me a little bit about you. And he hit me up. It's about the trimmers and all that for body and balls. And I
there's
considered it.
Why? So are you getting at that you said no? Ultimately, you came to
I
No,
didn't
this
say
you
no.
didn't say no.
I didn't say no.
Okay, well, if there's any advice that any of us can give is take the sponsors short of, one that you legitimately morally disagree with, because at the end of the day, you can play with things in creative ways, and it ultimately, like Bill Burr, for example, I don't know if you've ever seen his sponsorship. He basically gives the middle finger to the people who are paying for his podcast, and that's fits his demographic, fits his show, fits his his personality. There's a lot of things you could do with body and balls. You could get a peach, you could get creative with it. Maybe it's for ears and not necessarily balls. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get creative with it. And at the end of the day, I think I was listening to a podcast recently, and it was I think they were talking about like men's sperm count and like testosterone count and why it's not talked about more. And it's like, well, if that's one of those things, you don't go to a cocktail party and it's like, hey, did you know that my sperm is next to negative in count?
Yeah, right.
Really
not-
low.
Yeah, it's not a party topic to talk about. And because of that, a lot of people go undiagnosed with certain issues and diseases, and there's a lot of issues that arise from not talking about stuff. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if you can just throw a little comedy of balls and body, or body and balls, whatever.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm all for it. I don't think that's
speaking
gonna
of
reflect negative.
sponsors,
I don't think so.
that we've been talking kind of a lot about this as we've been going on, but this is a costly business.
Indeed.
The amount of money that we have probably all dropped into podcasting for the people, by the people, for the people, it's a lot. And so the
Just the Constitution you're
sponsors-
talking about there sounds like
Yeah, exactly.
I know,
for the
but
people, by the people, for the other people.
the other people, but like you said, Hermes, if you can take a sponsor,
Yeah.
I think that you should, because It's a big strain on the pocketbook, and we all provide good information. You guys are more loose than we are, but we all provide that thing that the sailor needs, and in order to continue to keep doing that and to continue to keep funding it, we do need to monetize it.
And right now it's not so bad because we're still in the Navy and we still get paid well. But what if I retire this year? Then I'm taking a big hit financially, and it won't be that easy.
Oh, that's we talk about that quite a bit. My wife is planning on separating soon, and I'll be still active duty for the foreseeable future. But like, that's the whole plan, is like we're gonna take income cuts, and we have to figure out something to help support that. And if this could just be one more avenue of one more way to make money while also having fun, like, why not?
Yeah.
Partnerships don't have to be, or sponsorships don't necessarily have to be, monetary sponsorships. I got free beer from a brewery.
Yeah.
That was
But
awesome.
You would have spent your money on that brewery, so you're
Exactly.
saving money.
Exactly.
Like, that's fantastic. That's like, I remember asking Hermes, I showed him the email of the person saying just like, hey, thanks for spreading the word. We'll send you some beer. Like, have a great day. And I was like, was this a success? And he's like, that is absolutely a success.
I agree. I think it is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, yeah. And go ahead, Heath. Sorry.
No, you were going to buy the beer anyway. Now you got it for free. So you save money. It's the same as making
Exactly.
Now, if they could just start supplying these, Lefroigs and shit, because they're a little more than
right.
Say it 3 times and it will appear.
That's the beauty about I'm really going to keep trying to hit up Rogue about, because Rogue now has they've had for probably the last 5 or 6 years, a distillery. So they make products like Dead Guy whiskey. They have a stouted whiskey. They have a Scotch style whiskey. They have some vodkas. So I bought a couple of their bottles because they finally shipped to the state that we're in now. And so I bought a couple of their bottles online. I'm waiting for those to get in, but I'm going to start hitting that niche too, as well as like, maybe we can get some whiskey from them. And like, maybe that will be our show whiskey,
You want to know a fun fact about sponsorships? I mean, all 4 of us know who the biggest podcast out there is. Like, we kind of keep the elephant in the room, but everybody knows who the biggest sponsor on the planet is. Do you know that their very first sponsor was? It was. I hope I can say this. It was a pocket pussy. That was the very first sponsor for that show. And look at look at the show now. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Maybe Ashley go host a popular TV show.
Yeah.
I think I could do that though. I feel like I'd have a good niche for that.
Yeah.
My point is like, don't shy away from sponsors. Short of like a Nazi sponsorship, like, you're gonna probably be okay with it.
Morally, if we cannot handle it.
If I don't agree and totally disagree with everything they stand for, I don't have a problem.
But like a manscaping product,
yeah, exactly.
Why
Not to put you on the
not?
spot, Heath. But I don't know if you manscape. I don't know if you support manscaping. But at the end
I
of the day,
support it.
I mean, I don't manscape, but if a manscaping company offered to sponsor us, you better believe I'd be trimming my stuff every gosh darn tootin' night.
We truly are transparent here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we are. Hey, you're amongst friends, right?
You're amongst
that's
friends.
our whole thing.
So how'd y'all get started on the podcast? That's what I want to know. Like,
Well, Hermes and I, we go way back.
We do. Way back.
Way back.
Are y'all baby docs together?
I mean, we were kind of like almost childhood friends together.
Yeah.
In our small town of unknown state A. We lived in like the same town of like 500 people, and we actually never met. But funny thing is, I went to elementary school with Hermes' younger brother. Because Hermes was 1 grade above us. 2?
Yeah.
Oh.
Get the details right. Let's go.
He was 1 grade, or he was a couple of grades above us, but I went to elementary school with his younger brother. So we were overseas at our first command together, some like 5-6 years later after elementary school. And we had added each other on Facebook at that point. He was like, oh, hey, like, I remember I walked through like our lobby of our barracks, and there's like, little lobbies in the barracks, like pool tables and stuff a lot of the time. And he was like, hey, are you from like, blank town, like small town over here? I was like, yeah, like, no one's ever heard of that town. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm from there. And I started looking at his last name, and I was like, are you so-and-so's brother? And he was like, yeah. And literally from that moment, like we just like everything in common, everything, like all the same interests.
He likes whiskey. That was a big plus.
That was the biggest one.
Yeah.
And like
Are
honestly,
you
though,
Auslander from State A?
are you Auslander from State A, Town B?
Well, it would be Planet A from Galaxy B, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so ever since then, I mean, we've been hell, I'd say, I mean, like we're best friends. Like
He's literally my best man in my wedding.
yeah.
Wow.
And it's just crazy that like we grew up literally in the same tiny town and we never met until we were both, medical in an overseas base, like in the military, like 5,000 miles away. And then
Wow.
from there, I mean, still even since I mean, we both have since left that base, but like we talk a lot about how we both had a lot of mutual friends while we were there that are in the same area that we are now. And it just isn't the same. Like they just don't make an effort. Like we have both equally tried to make an effort to be with them and to hang out with them and to see them, and it just like never works out and they never want to do anything. Whereas with Hermes and myself, like it's never been an issue of like how far are you away, because like Hermes is a few hours away from me. It's never been an issue of like, oh, like do you want to come over? Oh, well, that's like a 3-hour drive. Like that's never a consideration. It's like I'll be there Friday night.
Right.
And
Definitely.
it's just been a thing like that ever since. Either I'm up there or like, oh, my wife's on duty now, and he's like, no worries, I'll be there. Like, don't even worry about it.
That's awesome. So how did Theron get in there?
Theron was the lifelong friend that literally the exact same scenario, except instead of meeting, a decade later, I met Theron when I, first landed basically. And he was always, so I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. Like I had a lot of acquaintances. I moved a lot being a military brat. And when I finally ended up landing in the area that Morpheus and Theron and all of us are from, well, general area, I guess you could say, Theron was like, hey dude, you seem pretty cool. Like, this is who I am. This is who you are. Like, no judgment here. And ever since, like, the same as Morpheus said, he made the effort, wanted to stay connected, wanted to be a part of this. He was one of the very first fans of the show. I had published it and put it up on my Instagram. It was very rough, very raw. And he was like, dude, I love it. These are my suggestions. And he definitely brought the podcast up, to where it is today. It helped do that in a lot of different ways. So yeah, Theron's lifelong friend, Morpheus lifelong friend now. It's
I mean,
three musketeers.
We talked about it on a recent episode too. Theron and I like took a moment to just be like, dude, you like, I mean, we've never physically met, but like you're one of my best friends now. Like just from doing this show, like it's incredible to me that we grew up in the same place. We've never met, but now like you're one of my brothers, like you're one of my best friends.
Well, I think
Isn't that funny about podcasting though?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's genuine people. When you meet genuine people, and there's, a whole laundry list of people that you encounter day in and day out who are not genuine, you just, that real recognize the real type of
cling to genuine people.
Yeah. You're honest, you're cool, you're genuine. I don't care what it is that you're genuine about. Like, just be honest with me, I'll be honest with you, and we're going to click.
That's true. I mean, you say that a lot, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Real recognizes real.
Because I mean, what, it was episode 1 or 2. I mean, me and Theron, like, we were tight, like from the very beginning. Like we immediately hit it off.
Alcohol has a way of doing that. I feel like people.
Yeah,
I guess
we should all meet everybody drunk.
No,
Right.
Okay.
We should just be drunk all the time. Is what I think.
I'm sure you've all made plans drunk, and then the next day you're like, "Who is that? Why did I make plans with them?" That kind of stuff. So it doesn't pan out. But the just the camaraderie that goes Navy wide. You can meet somebody tomorrow that you have never known existed until that day in their Navy, and you click with them, and that camaraderie just launches.
Hermes reached out to me when I first hit Twitter.
Oh wow.
He was like, I've been on Twitter a few days, and he had reached out to me. Remember that?
Yeah.
Hermes? Yeah. I mean,
and again, it's just when you see somebody who's genuine and honest and doing, especially when you're similar spaces, like with podcasts. That's what I found with the whole podcast community is we all are experiencing similar struggles, whether it's, equipment or streaming services or getting guests on and technical issues and troubleshooting, all of that. Which host site do you use? All of that. We're all in the similar boat. And when I first got in, as soon as I published, episode 1, there were people reaching out to me like, all right, are you doing this? Are you doing that? This is what happened to me. And some of it I listened to, some of it I didn't. And obviously I learned my lessons. And when I saw
Yeah.
Heath, jump in, I was like, all right, and as I've done to plenty of other podcasters, it's like, all right, I see exactly what you're going through. And him being Navy, I was like, I just felt the draw. And then he turned out to be a genuine person who's genuinely interested in podcasting, who genuinely wants to spread positivity and increase information and do all of these awesome things that I support. So there was no obstacles or hurdles to get over,
Yeah, that was awesome because that's when we started. Like, we got to do a collab. It just took until now for us to actually do it.
Yeah,
because of,
but
Navy life.
schedules.
But between, I mean, what I would say to the audience that's listening in, who's thinking about doing a podcast, we had never met each other from,
No.
Twitter. Y'all were talking on Twitter,
Yeah.
but our very first Zoom call just to plan this episode out was
Oh, was that
2
like
hours long.
2 months
Yeah.
ago, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 months ago. It was probably early March, late February.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, and we bullshitted for like 2 hours. Just
It was
shooting
awesome.
shit.
easy.
Easy 2 hours. Yeah, it was great.
And
That's
that-
when you revealed your beautiful avatar, Morpheus.
Yeah, because I almost showed you guys my real name and I got real scared real fast.
yeah, I
Spe-
don't remember it.
I know,
That's
yeah.
good.
That's
No, he almost. I don't remember you.
well, yeah,
You're
I
good.
mean, I've talked about this previously, but I had a concussion from doing met with the Marines, so
Yeah.
I don't remember
And
what
I had
your
a,
name was.
I had a
so
freaking stroke. So it's cool.
we
Well,
can
these
blame
are
it on
all-
medical issues.
we could
Well, I don't think I need to use the
could
Men in Black
never-
memory gun on you guys now.
no,
The neuralizer.
you're good. You're good.
we could never out you even if
Yeah.
we wanted to.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
We're
we already
good.
did,
I
and
won't
that's why you don't
shit.
remember.
That's
Maybe,
true.
or maybe that's why I had the stroke.
We neuralized you too many times.
That was the stroke. That's why we reached out to you so fast. We're like, all right, he's back. We got to go.
He's up and running. We didn't cause any permanent damage. He's not slouching. We're good. He can still talk.
He can still talk. Let's get him on the
Finally, we know
show.
the source.
Yeah.
So
This whole
let
time
me,
we've been blaming it on COVID.
let me get this straight. This is what we're doing right now is a guest spot on your show, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So next
This
is going to
whole
be
time.
you guys a guest spot on our show, yeah?
Yeah. I guess that's how it works.
That would be so fun.
You're-
So
All
fun.
right.
Yes, I would
You
love
will
it.
have to prepare and not get drunk and hungover the day before, is all I'm going to say.
I make it sound like it's going to be this
I'm not
whole different
hungover
experience when I'm literally going to be sitting in the exact same chair I am right now.
With the exact same face.
The exact same face. No, you might see more on that
Yeah.
one.
I mean,
I like this avatar though.
I might have more of a Hermes setup right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
it's working.
Okay.
It's working.
Yeah.
It is. It's
What's
nice.
everybody's drink count on right now?
I'm on number 3.
My boy.
3. What are you guys on? Like 7?
I was gonna say this is my third whiskey, and I finished the 2 Guinnesses.
God,
4 Guinness.
dang,
So I have 2
man, you
pints
guys
of
are
Guinness.
freaking outlaws.
Okay, so we're definitely not on your level. However, I might feel like I'm on your level.
No, yeah, I'm definitely feeling like I'm pretty low.
As long as you
fair.
feel like
I'm
it.
always-
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta have the glass. I'm gonna go get
Well, I
some
can
more
see-
bourbon.
I can see Hermes drink because I can see everything but his face. But Morpheus has got that that awesome face at me. I don't know.
I
what
can
the hell.
turn my camera on.
It's only gonna give away how much alcohol in proportion to the Coke that you're drinking, because that's always the shtick that you have, is like you have that 2 liter or 2 pint that you fill up with, like, I don't know, a shot of Coke, and then the rest is Jameson.
You can't see it though because the Coke masks it.
So no dapper
drink
can be
Coke?
called.
I
drink
do.
Coke with Jameson?
I am a mixer. I am a bit of a mixer. I
No,
enjoy
there's
whiskey
nothing wrong with
Coke.
that. Have you tried Jameson Sprite?
No, actually, yes, actually, because for a long time in my life, I enjoyed Jameson ginger ales, which if you haven't had is fantastic.
That's good too.
I was at
Yeah.
a certain gentleman's establishment overseas one time, and I asked for a Jameson and ginger ale, and they informed me they did not have ginger ale; they had Sprite. And yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
I did have it there.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
The only
So,
time I make mixed drinks is for my wife, and the only time I try them is to try them out and make sure I did it right before I give it to her. Or if
I
I'm
always
drunk.
enjoyed the like the Motorhead Lemmy Killmeister, like he'd kill like a bottle of Jack and Coke a day. like a bottle of Jack and like just in Jack and Cokes a day.
You guys tempt me. I'm gonna finish this Scotch and bourbon here. Like, pretty soon this bourbon's gonna be gone.
I'll tell you what, Hermes, I got to go take me a Morpheus minute after this beer, and I'll come back with some bourbon.
All right.
Morpheus minute. What is a
Means
Morpheus minute?
It means I gotta pee.
If you're not familiar with the Morpheus, I meant to actually mention that to Heath on our pre-show. Is like, if that ever comes when we need to do the break or anything, just hey, we're doing a Morpheus minute. We got to empty the bladder. We'll be right back, guys.
Last time it was a lot because I was smoking a brisket.
Yeah, that's right.
So I took a lot of minutes to go check the brisket.
I got a
I
bladder
think
of
I'm-
steel.
Damn, I guess you were like on your 7th drink.
Yeah.
I'm on my 4th and I'm starting to have to pee.
Mhm.
Weak bladder.
Yep, indeed. I'm a small guy, you know?
This is weak jeans. Get out of
No, I
here.
don't know. All I see is your face.
Yeah.
That's true. I'll tell you that. I'm a small guy.
What I will warn more than anything else, or a preface for you, Heath, if we do end up doing an in studio cast, an episode,
Yeah.
I will never hold a drink away. My dad has sat in the seat. There have been other active duties that have sat in the seat that are like, oh, I don't feel like drinking tonight, and every single one of them goes home with alcohol poisoning. So
Yeah.
just know that
Yeah.
going
It's
in.
true. I mean, I've been in the chair and my wife is like, you don't need any more. And she'll be like, don't give him any more. And Hermes is just like, I'm never gonna not give him more.
Yeah,
He's
well,
a
you know what
grown
you're gonna
man.
get
He's an ad-
is that he's gonna stay the night with you.
Yeah.
Which
He's
is
an
why I have a
adult.
little
He's
area with
gonna-
a blow up mattress and everything.
Yeah.
The
So Heath,
studio
when are we
has-
gonna see you guys up for an in studio recording?
Well, I'm trying to work on some issues with my retirement, so I'm trying to hook up a deal to go up to Lejeune area. And,
Okay.
it's only a few hours away, so I might for weekends, so I can keep the podcast going while I'm away from
Mhm.
home. I might we have to do a couple episodes, with you guys and other people I know in that area.
Stop in anytime.
Well, that's the
Anytime,
beauty.
Heath,
There's
and,
multiple studios that you can use.
That's true.
and all of
Yeah.
them have alcohol in them.
But I'll bring the alcohol. You ain't got to speak your own. We'll drink mine.
Well, I'm just throwing shade at you right now, Heath, because we'll hook you up with some scotch and some non-Jameson whiskeys.
It'll be a
and
great time. We'll
It'll
smoke
be a good time.
cigars.
That's a stab with Jameson. Jameson's good shit.
I like Jameson. I'll bring Jameson. Heath. I'll bring Jameson.
You won't find it on my bar, is all I'm saying.
I'll bring it. Let me tell you, I have a one of the like the bar dispensers. Like Hermes actually has the exact same one, but you put the bottles on it and it has like
Yeah.
the little tap thing and you push your glass on it and it pours the liquor down into it.
Damn, that's legit.
And I have currently a bottle of Jameson on mine
Nice.
as my
Makes
kind of
sense.
go-to, just like quick mixer whiskey.
Yeah, but you guys y'all have to drink shit stuff before though, right?
Oh yeah.
There was a time when Potter's vodka, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but Potter's vodka was a thing, and Canadian Mist.
Oh, I drink a shitload of Canadian Mist back in the
That's
day.
some R&R.
Rough.
Yes.
Some rough times.
R&R Canadian whiskey.
Oh,
All right, that Morpheus minute's gonna happen, so I'm gonna go ahead and mute my
All
mic, and I'm gonna come back with bourbon. I'm warning you guys. I'm coming back with bourbon.
oh
Oh,
shit.
good grief.
Damn.
Bourbon.
I did
And now a Morpheus minute.
I don't feel bad in that I definitely warned Heath or Jamie, whoever I was talking to frequently on Twitter. I
That's
did.
me.
It was
That was
me.
all
I'm
me.
I'm
There was
tweeter.
one that said signed Jamie that he was
Oh.
struggling.
That was this morning.
That was this morning. That was
I
Jamie.
did. Yeah, because I couldn't figure out how to Twitter off of my own Navy talent.
I didn't tag you anybody. That's why. Yeah.
Anyway, I need a Jamie minute.
Jamie made it.
Jamie.
Well, Heath, this is a perfect
Just
time.
us.
Now that her headphones are off, you can just grab a cigar.
Oh yeah. Just grab a cigar. I didn't get her. She don't fetch me another beer when she's done too. Watch. Fetch. She don't like when I tell her to fetch me something.
Oh, I say that to my wife all the time. Go back in the kitchen where you belong. Go make me
Yeah,
some
right.
pie.
No shit. No shit. You got a nice looking studio, man.
Oh, thanks.
Thing is legit, dude. You got a lot of time invested.
Oh,
Really?
so the first 10 days that I moved into this place, I made sure I shopped around and I was like, all right, I need at least this, and this. to make, because I had the studio in mind. When I was back overseas, the studio was very echoey. I couldn't obviously do a whole setup. And so when I was moving over here, I knew I was going to have my own place. I knew what I wanted. And as soon as I found this place, it took me 10 days start to finish. I redid the floors. I set up all of the sound treating, equipment, all the panels, all the vinyl, everything, the lighting. And by day 10, there was nothing else set up in my house, but the studio was up and running, and I was recording
ready
again.
I was ready. I remember listening to your own shit, like when you were still overseas in the barracks.
Yep.
You would talk about, I'm tired of this shit. You're burnt out on it because you had to, like, you hear people like go walking down the halls and it pissed you off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did college, so I lived in the dorms when I was 19 to 23. Like I had that time frame where I was in that lifestyle. And so obviously I joined a little later, and I did the whole boot camp, the whole C school, A school, all of that stuff. And that's all good and fine because it's part of the process. But then when I got overseas and they denied me living out, and I had to still live in the barracks, I had a roommate and everything. I'm pushing 30, and I was like, this is not the lifestyle that I was picturing, or that I'm comfortable picturing for myself.
It's not about age, man, because it's not about age, it's about rank when you do with that shit.
Yeah, and it's not like I don't understand, but at the same time, it's just it does wear on you being. I don't mean it as like because I hit a certain age, I should be out of the barracks. It's just that when you hit a certain age, you mature past certain things.
And no, I hear you. Definitely.
And as Morpheus and I may have not alluded to, we got into our own, childish shenanigans that get into when you're 19, 21, whatever. But there is a point where certain things that you engage in when you're younger are just don't appeal to you anymore when you're older, and when it's 2 a.m. and someone is yelling at the top of their lungs, like screaming right outside your window, absolutely bloody murder, and you have to literally open the window and say, shut the fuck up. That's not, I don't know. I feel I'm too old for that.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I hear you. No.
And we're back from another wonderful Morpheus Minute.
That's beautiful timing.
We'll get back.
Yeah, great timing.
You and Jamie both.
What I love about not having my camera on is you have no idea if I'm here or not.
Yeah, it's true.
No, the Morpheus minute is about the same amount of time as the Jamie minute.
It's true.
We're learning.
It's true. You guys,
man, are we just gonna merge our podcasts into one big podcast?
The Scuttle 14 podcast.
Is this a crossover episode or what is this?
But for real, it's been fun. We got to start wrapping it up. We got that party coming here pretty soon.
Yeah, the surprise party.
Yeah,
which we must get ready for.
Yeah.
Damn it, Heath! I brought the bourbon. I
That's
told
what
you.
I was just saying. Morpheus is about to
sorry.
bring the bourbon.
I know, man, but Jamie, she's a woman.
Well, I can count.
Oh,
one
sure.
off.
Blame it on the wife. Sure.
It's true. I didn't plan the party. That had nothing to do with me because I was like, really? We got a freaking podcast that day.
But I didn't know. We don't have to wrap it up just yet.
Okay, good.
Well, that gives me
Jamie
time to
doesn't
pop
want
one
to
off.
go.
So
Jamie doesn't.
How
want
about
to go
one? Oh,
God damn! I heard something pop right there. Is that you, Morpheus?
indeed, it was.
how about one more drink?
Uno
One more
mas.
round.
All right, let me shoot this real quick, and I'll pour another one.
I literally just shot half of a Guinness to get this bourbon going. And today we're mixing bourbon with a lovely Coca-Cola Zero because my father came to visit a few weeks ago and he only drinks Coke Zero. So now I have an abundance of Coke Zero.
Dude, I'll drink the shit out of some Coke Zero.
Why
Well, I have
waste
one left.
calories? Why waste calories? Why waste that?
I'm about waste. Don't waste it.
Yeah.
I don't believe in artificial sugars.
Zero.
Waste not
Oh.
want.
You don't believe in them? No, they're real. They actually exist, Morpheus.
They're here.
Let me rephrase that. I believe in them. I do not agree with them.
Okay, there
It's
we
not a
go.
ghost. Yeah.
They're bureaucrats. I don't respect them.
So I don't know. Does E14 have an after hours or a taps?
No, we don't do taps. We're not as advanced as Scuttlebutt.
Yeah, when did y'all
we're-
start doing that?
I was gonna
We've
say
done
we're-
it since the beginning.
basically the
We're
beginning
old.
was taps, and we just sort of shortened that and extended actual episodes is what actually happened.
Normally during taps, I hold a reptile of sorts.
Yes, I saw the last one. You had the little snake.
Which one?
It was the Mexican.
Oh yeah, the MBX or the MBS.
Yeah,
The MBS. MBS,
MBS,
Mexican Black King
yes.
Snake.
yeah.
MBK.
Yeah. That was really fucking weird, Morpheus.
Are you not a snake?
I'm glad you liked it.
No, I thought it was cool, but it was fucking weird. I don't like snakes. No, I don't
Let's
do
do it
snakes.
again sometime. If you watch the last like 3 episodes we have, there's a different snake in each one.
Siri always joins
Siri
in.
always
Alexa,
joins in.
Siri, whoever you are.
Yeah.
No one called you to this.
Well, I'm waiting for the big
podcast.
ding on mine because I have a package that's 5 stops away right now. Waiting for my thing in my office here to go off.
Did you ever think that we would get our virtual assistants mixed up? Like,
I love
no
it.
Shit.
What a world we live in.
Alexa, Siri, whatever your name is. Yeah.
Whoever the fuck you are.
Whoever answers, just do what I want you to do. That's what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
exactly.
I
Play the
did
damn
forget.
song.
I forget and I forgot to ask, am I allowed to cuss on your show? Because I've been
cuss.
cussing.
I cuss.
Heath already has to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit, I didn't even ask. My bad. Fuck.
I remember we talked about that in that we talked about that like 2 months ago in that call we had. Like, you know, do we cuss?
Said, I don't typically put the explicit filter on. However, I probably will on this episode.
Yeah.
Content and grammar.
Well, that
and
sounds fucking
profanity.
fantastic.
Explicit.
Yeah, you know, sailors, once you get a couple drinks in them, you can't control what comes
No.
out.
I'm pretty sure every one of our episodes is explicit, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you
There's-
guys,
I-
you guys are really offend me on y'all.
Are you triggered? You know what?
I'm triggered.
Just
Triggered.
I can't wait to have you in person. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just
Man,
to, I don't want to hijack the show, but like, can we talk about Karen's, because he was actually
Yes,
with
please.
Karen's
Please.
yesterday.
We had a Karen on our show the other day, but she was a really cool Karen.
She was a cool Karen she's Karen with a Y, but no, he
Did she
was actually.
has she mentioned me at all?
Yeah, I sent you guys the shout out she gave us.
Oh, I didn't listen to it.
Fuck you.
Well, I know somebody that got blocked yesterday by Karen.
Was
She
it me?
did.
Oh no.
No, it was our
Didn't y'all
show.
get- Scuttlebutt got blocked.
Yeah,
The Scuttlebutt
Got blocked.
pod.
by quite a few actually. It wasn't just
Really?
one. It was like all their friends after they reached out to me and tell me what a piece of shit we are.
What episode was it after?
No, it wasn't after an episode. We were okay. I don't know if anybody else calls me crazy here. You know, stop me if I'm the one who's out of line here. So if someone posts to Twitter, give me podcast recommendations, you should understand what that means. That means podcasts are going to reach out to you and give you links. All right. Well, this certain
Right,
individual,
That's what I do.
not to give them a platform, but I've had a couple drinks in me and I'm feeling a little fired up. But
My man, Hermes.
so we gave them recommendations, and then by like hour whatever it was, they were telling everybody who was posting in that specific thread, oh, stop posting, like I'm done, like podcasts are so annoying, I don't want podcast recommendations anymore. And that just hit me in a certain way where I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna post my
Right.
podcast now.
Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
When you said that the last night on Twitter was crazy?
Yes. And I posted our podcast, I posted Heath, I started tagging a bunch of other podcasts, and I knew that at least some of the other podcasts I tagged would see the silliness of this. And again, this
Yeah, I did.
wasn't anything more than that at that time. And then this specific individual started like attacking us personally. Their friends
Yeah.
started DMing us, started doing all kinds of, and then they blocked us.
Oh,
And then they would
sweet.
and then they would unblock us, reply to whatever
Yes.
we were talking about, and then block us again. And I was
Yes,
just
they would,
Oh, yes.
do that.
The true badge of courage is when you take their ability to respond completely away so that they can only hear what you want to say.
well, it was not slowing me down any. So I was tagging everybody, I was posting gifs, and then when they said, I quote, like, you're overstepping boundaries, or maybe I shouldn't say and I quote because I'm a little drunk, but they said to the lines of, we were overstepping boundaries and they're uncomfortable. And I responded very politely, if you're uncomfortable by gifts and humor and connecting with positive individuals,
Yeah.
I don't know, that's on you. Go ahead, go back to blocking me. And
You should have just told them to relax and
They
that
did.
they were among friends.
Relax.
You're among friends.
You know, that is like the if Heath wants a fight, that is the one word that he can tell me.
I do. it
Relax.
all the
Relax.
time, too.
Relax.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I
What
But-
do you
but-
mean
to.
relax? What do you mean relax? Yeah.
I am relaxed.
Relax.
I am perfectly relaxed.
Trigger.
That's the thing I get a lot. It's always like, you're the one that's getting worked up.
They definitely
With like
got
the
worked
twitchy
up.
eye.
They definitely got worked
Yeah.
up. I was completely fine. I posted on my timeline like a screenshot of them blocking me, and I was like, I'm just having fun. Like
Yeah,
I don't
saw
do it
that,
often, but a little troll on my end to these, sensitive snowflakes out there, not to be on that side of the spectrum, but like these sensitive snowflakes out there, if I get a little laugh out of it, my day's a better day. And it just kept going from there and kept going from there.
I miss Karen.
Because I saw them post something. It was like the thing, the recommendations, and then she said no. I was like, what the hell does she mean by that? No,
I went back.
it.
That's what
No.
triggered
Then
me.
Yeah.
When she said
Trigger.
no,
And then I saw you sent
Go ahead.
that picture of her blocking you. Then I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, I saw that as a notification, her saying no, but it was very I was at dinner with some friends, so I was not paying a lot of attention.
Yeah. It happened.
Right.
And then again, some of because if you read, if you're not blocked by them and you can read their bio, it says she, they, minor, and then a bunch of letters, and then and legitimately there's the LGBTQ and then a bunch of letters. I legitimately don't know what they mean. It's like FMT stuff, and to me that means something completely different. So I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And if you're not blocked, you can see it for yourself. But yeah, it was like I don't know. All their followers started reaching out to us, telling us to respect boundaries and that maybe we should respect boundaries. And when I'm in a drunken stage, as I was messaging and gifting Heath the entire time, and a couple other podcasts,
Boundaries do not exist in the drunken zone.
They don't.
Boundaries are made to be broken.
It's not so much about what's a boundary on Twitter. If I respond with a GIF that's a humorous GIF, it was like, haha, like a Anchorman GIF or a Tommy Boy GIF. Like, how is that overstepping boundaries? Come on, how is that overstepping boundaries? Like, what is happening here? And if you're really that offended, I don't know. I just don't know.
Well, I tell you, after the Wild Whiskey episode, me and Hermes had a gift war.
Yeah, he told me about it this morning. He's like, I had a gift war with Hermes last
I
night.
warned him and I said, don't start me up. I said it in gift form. I said, don't start me up.
Dude, we did the whole time I'm watching, my guilty pleasure is WWE, right? Yeah. So I was watching.
Oh my God. We used to watch it all the time overseas. It played on the AFN.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. AFN, they're pro-military over there, the WWE. Anyway, I
love WWE.
I'm like, good. I'm not the only one.
Sponsor us.
Yes.
We won't be mad.
Yeah. But I was watching
the Grave Digger.
That's a goddamn monster truck, man. Grave Digger.
I'm drunk.
Yeah. Undertaker. The Undertaker.
That's who it is. The Undertaker.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I want Dale Earnhardt on here. Woo, WWE, keep driving in your circles real fast. Woo.
Shut the fuck up.
Left turn and another left turn.
So back to my story, Morpheus.
Undertaker, my bad.
This spiraled out of control.
This really
just so you guys
quickly.
know, my face is real red out of embarrassment right now.
I can tell by the bloodshot eyes.
Yeah. Well,
that's from the alcohol.
The wheels falling off. So just like Hermes said in the beginning, the wheels have fallen off.
The wheels are falling off right now.
We lubricate until they fall off. But
help me, Dave.
Wow.
Shut the fuck up, Marcus.
Baby Jesus.
Morpheus, can you just shut up and color for a second?
Help me, Tom Cruise.
Help me, Tom Cruise. Help me, Oprah.
Okay, so I was watching WWE. There I was.
Okay,
there I was.
Yeah, you were.
And then freaking Hermes start freaking texting me some damn gifts. I'm like going back and forth with him. I'm like, damn, I hope he quits soon because I'm getting sleepy. I'm not gonna give up. And I even said, I wish I have a phone. I have a phone on me. I said I'm getting sleepy. Then he did the Dwight one. It's just I forgot what it was, man, but it was just perfect. And I woke up to it the next day. I'm like, shit, got me. I passed out.
Oh, you lost the war.
I passed out. Yeah, I was tired.
He did lose the war.
Yeah,
everyone loses. Everyone
but
loses.
Hey, dude, this afternoon when I put the shit pants on there, you gave me the freaking that was you conceding.
Conceding what? Whoa, you misunderstood the gift.
Christian
then.
Bale. No, it was like that. Like, yeah, you
Was
you
this
got
over
it.
Twitter?
Of
Yes.
course, it's over Twitter. That's the.
All right,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
even know
I'm
what
gonna
we're
go
talking
take a
about.
gander. I'm gonna take a gander at this.
A world that doesn't exist. in the
but yet
tweets.
means
Well,
so much to the real world.
I
Apparently,
think I got him though. I think he conceded.
Okay.
Let me
You-
hold on.
I was
I'm
gonna
looking.
say,
I'm
let's
looking.
settle down now. I'm gonna send another GIF here in about 2 seconds.
I'm looking. I'm
Calm
looking.
down now.
If it's the GIF I think he sent, which is normally the one that he does with Christian Bale.
Yeah, the one that like giving a little
Oh,
kiss.
the American Psycho. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
That
American
was not
Psycho.
me.
That's not conceding.
that
That's just
wasn't
American
conceding.
Psycho.
That was me mocking your presentation to me, and therefore me giving it back to you as like, oh, you think you've won. Oh, you think you're good.
It's all
as
in
he
the
does-
eye of the beholder then.
Damn.
As
I
he
took it
does
as
to Paul
I
Paul
took it
Allen.
as you conceding.
No,
Damn.
no.
Let's think about
see,
gifts. Gifts tell a lot of story, but it doesn't really tell when you're conceding. It doesn't really.
Oh, there's so much conversation between you two. It's cute.
What is happening?
I'm looking through the Twitter.
Twitter, baby, get with us. Twitter.
I know. I don't know nothing
Blowing
about
up.
those.
And
It
then,
is.
yeah, I was.
we were on it, and that's what I really like about podcasts is GIF express. So a picture tells 1,000 words, a GIF gives 1,000,000, but the podcast legitimately puts us down together, and I don't know, we can put it out there in honesty and for all to hear. So
For everyone to hear.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I love it. No, I love it. Like I said, I'll say this again, that if it wasn't for Jamie, I would never have done this, because she has already had she did the Savage Squad. She's part of the Savage Squad. We did a show with them, but she was actually a guest, but she's also a host.
Which I
And
loved that episode, by the way. Shout out
Thank
to
you.
Savage Squad.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank
They're on Twitter now.
Yeah.
We'll follow 'em.
We're doing it.
Yeah. They're on Twitter.
Slowly but surely.
And on Anchor.
Yeah. They're on Anchor. They're about to are they on Anchor? They're getting on Anchor.
No, we're on it.
Okay.
On Spotify.
Oh, wow. No shit.
Check
Wow.
it out. Outside the Uniform Podcast.
Good content, guys. They do a lot of good things for people like us, people that are outside the uniform and have talents. They do a lot of good stuff.
Hell yeah.
And then no, it was so much fun doing it with those guys. And Jamie was huge on that. She's huge marketing of that podcast. And if it weren't for her, I would not have done this, because that kind of watching their show made me like, I think I could do this. And then Jamie brought it up to me. I was like, yeah, let's do it.
When you had mentioned that in the episode, and I'm terrible with names, I'm much better with faces.
Yeah.
But when the main, I guess, host in that specific episode was describing how it was his turn to take over marketing for that week
Oh,
of that
yes.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jay Beast.
Jay.
Yeah. I just died laughing, like right in the middle of work, because I was like, I feel you. I hear your struggle, man. I get you.
Yeah. But they're
Well, if
all
we are-
good guys.
If we are coming to a close as well, I would also like to say that when Hermes first told me about your guys' podcast, just imagine little Morpheus Browers is like the vampire that likes to hide in the dark away from anything Navy, right?
Yeah.
And he told me that we were going to do a podcast with a first class and a senior chief. I was kind of like, I'm
The crucifix. Yeah.
I don't want to do this. And then we did that first little like group call with you guys, and immediately my full name was shown on screen. I was also immediately like,
This is my nightmare.
this is my greatest fear. After we did that first group call, and then especially after this too, like after seeing your engagement and stuff, like we've had a great time with y'all.
As it turns out, people are people, Morpheus. It doesn't
Right.
matter the rank and uniform.
But
Sometimes.
sometimes it's still kind of like, oh, there it is. Oh, did you hear it? My package got delivered.
Yeah.
I heard it.
What is it? Is it more alcohol?
It's a water bottle.
Oh, wow.
My wife asked to
what?
put Crystal Light in my water bottle the other day, and I said no, so I had to buy her own.
No, I love bullshit with fellow sailors. I love it.
That is absolutely why we started
Yeah, I
this,
love it.
was to amplify the voice of the sailor, because a lot of people don't understand who we are as a community, and
Right.
this camaraderie where we don't really know each other, but we know each other
Mhm.
is amazing.
Yeah, I love it. I love the Navy on that aspect of the people. I love the people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, actually, I got a passion for them. I think they're great Americans and great people, and I love bullshit with them.
Mhm.
I love it.
Beautifully said. I don't know how else we could end this besides much love, you know, like that's
Well,
all it's about.
Is there
Brotherhood, camaraderie.
a handle that our listeners could find y'all on so that they can listen to the Scuttlebutt podcast?
Just the handle on this bottle of bourbon that I have over here. Drink the bourbon, my son, and you will know it to be true. It will guide you. It will guide you to the Scuttlebutt podcast.
That's very true. That is very true. But because I am probably more sober than I feel like Morpheus is, we are on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on all those things. If this is our final plug, yeah, if you guys listen to us on all major platforms, if you look up the Scuttlebutt podcast, we're always the first one to show up. We literally have a scuttlebutt as our logo, and yeah, we're literally everywhere. We're just figuring out how exactly to get the word out for everything. So T Scuttlebutt Pod at Twitter, Instagram is just the Scuttlebutt Podcast. That's
awesome. And you got and for your personal stuff, Hermes, you got anything that people can check out your personal stuff?
Yeah. So if you are into artwork, if I do a lot of graphite stuff, but I also do a lot of digital stuff. I'm working into the NFT market as well. So if anybody's interested in actually getting to the more crypto side of things, I have dipped my toes in and it sucked me in pretty quickly.
Oh, this guy is fucking crypto.
Shut the fuck up. Doge went the fuck up. I bought
all
it.
I ever hear about anymore. Now I have a crypto wallet, and now I have to invest in this, and I have to invest in that. Almost like a good friend trying to help me out.
I'm setting up your retirement. All right, the military sets you up so much. I'm setting up the rest of it. But
Cool.
Hermes Auslander at Instagram. If you don't know how to spell that, it's literally Hermes, messenger of the god. AUSLANDER, and that's on Instagram. I have links to everything. If you know what Linktree is, it's always in the bio. It has my website. It has the Scuttlebutt Podcast, and again, the Scuttlebutt Podcast on Instagram. Same thing. It has all those links. So
awesome. And for us, we are ETAC or -14 podcast on Twitter.
No, we're just E14 podcast.
Oh,
So
my
no
bad.
tack.
no tack on
We have
Twitter.
no
E14 podcast.
Yeah, Heath is in charge of it, so there's no tack.
There's yes.
I
The
tag
master
you
email
frequently.
address, which is E14
Podcast.
podcast@gmail.com,
There you go.
and Instagram E14 podcast.
Yep.
And with that, we wish you
fair winds.
and following seas.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Hey,
Bow, 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 bow.
y'all listen to the half hour bros?